What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's One Piece chapter review, and in this week's video I want to talk about One Piece chapter 944. Now, there are a lot of events in this chapter that I want to discuss, and I just want to start off with Lord Orochi. We know that this guy is scummy. We know he was scummy from the way he handled the world government, the way he was shit-talking CP0, the way he handled Komurasaki rejecting him, the way he handled Toko laughing at him, and the way he handled Kiyoshiro preserving his honor by striking down Komurasaki. And, it just further solidifies itself, and the fact that he's trying to execute Toko right after he executed her father, and that he's ordering the samurai to kill anybody that interferes. And honestly, I wanted Zoro's attack to hit him. I really, really wanted Zoro's attack to hit him. I wanted it to at least hurt him badly, to some extent. And I was thinking while I was reading the panels and seeing Orochi's reaction to Zoro's attack coming at him, was like, why are you scared? Why are you shocked? Why are you surprised at this? Did you really think he was going to execute a little girl and not have anybody try to kick your shit in at that very moment? And my second question was, where is the guy that defeated Lord Odin? Lord Odin defeated Boy Ashura, and we see that Boy Ashura was the same samurai that gave Kaido a tough time, the same samurai that Kaido wants to be one of his top subordinates. And if Lord Odin was able to unify all of Wano under him, and the propaganda we hear about Lord Orochi is that he single-handedly defeated the Kazuki clan and, Odin with his legendary sword style, where does that sword style intercept Zoro's attack or to block it? And we've seen this guy transform into this multi-headed dragon. Like, why not just transform into the dragon and tank that attack or just absorb it, or, I don't know. I'm hoping to see some type of demonstration of strength or power from Lord Orochi, and it just seems to be lacking in a lot of ways. And we all know that Kaido is the powerhouse behind Lord Orochi, and we know that Kaido is the big bad dragon, but at the same time, I was hoping that Lord Orochi would at least be able to handle himself in some capacity. And I'm disappointed that we don't get to see that in this chapter. Maybe we'll see Lord Orochi actually get in action, actually do some fighting of his own, and actually give a good fight and show off some other abilities that he has. But also, I want to really give a shout out to Kiyoshiro, because he intercepted Zoro's attack with no difficulty. And then he managed to hold Zoro off and prevent Zoro from advancing on Lord Orochi and parry all of Zoro's attacks with no difficulty. And I'm excited about this because, to be honest, I had Kiyoshiro pegged out to be a weasel. I had him pegged out to be this guy that avoids combat and that has several schemes going and just is this general opportunistic scumbag. But we see that he's not really as bad as we think he is. We learn that Komurasaki really isn't as bad as we think she is when she did that stuff with that old guy. We learn that that old guy was a scumbag. We learn that all those other guys that were in the capital trying to kill her were scumbags. And we learn that he struck her down. Kiyoshiro struck Komurasaki down to preserve her honor, to preserve Lord Orochi's honor as well. And we learned that it wasn't fatal, at least judging from other videos that I've seen on YouTube from other One Piece manga reviewers. And honestly, I have a lot more respect for Kiyoshiro now. I have a lot more respect for him. And to see him handle Zoro as well as handling him is just a lot of respect towards him as well, because we have not seen Zoro get any significant fights in this arc so far. Now, the only ones that I can recall is the Bridge Bandit, which really didn't go anywhere and really didn't lead anywhere significant in their fight, and then the battle with Kamazo, which, while it was interesting to see, Kamazo only really got one good hit in before being one-shotted, and I was disappointed by that. I was disappointed by Kamazo because I really liked this character design, and I was really hoping he would put up more of a fight. But with Kiyoshiro and his encounter with Zoro, I'm hoping that we actually have somebody that will push Zoro to his limits, that will push Zoro to show us everything that he's learned from this entire time skip, and to show us new ability that he's also coming up with on the fly. But that's yet to be seen in future chapters. Now we see Luffy's at the Udon prison mines, and he's cheering on his friends, and we have Queen, and I'm just gonna be truthful here. I really don't give a shit about the sumo thing that Luffy's doing with Queen, because as long as Queen is not in that ring, then I'm not really interested in it. I really don't care who Luffy is fighting in that ring. If it's not Queen, if it's not Eustace, or if it's not King, or if it's not Jack, I really don't care who is in that ring, because honestly, he's fighting fodder. We know that he's going to defeat them. We know that eventually Queen is going to have to step into that ring. And until that point happens, I'm really not that invested in anything that goes on. We know that he's practicing his hockey. We know that the old man is teaching him a way to project his hockey without actually making direct contact. And we know that Luffy's practicing it so far in the matches that he's having currently. And then we see Eustace has been recaptured. We see Kamazo has been arrested, which sucks for Kamazo. And when Eustace was talking to Kamazo, I was thinking that Eustace was talking to Kamazo as that being like his younger or older brother, because he was talking about when you were younger, you would kill people that laughed at you. Why are you laughing now? What's happened to you? And I was honestly thinking to myself, oh shit, this is Eustace's brother. Then we find out, wait, no, it's Killer. And I'm doubly shocked at that. I'm not disappointed that it's not Eustace's brother or Eustace's relative or something, but I am definitely shocked that it is Killer, because that is such a drastic change. But it also goes further to prove that Eustace and Killer have had a really, really bad deck of cards dealt to them, because we have them trying to form this alliance with Scratchman of Pooh and Vassal Hawkins to take down Shanks. And of all the Yonko, and of all the times one could pop up, Kaido pretty much falls from the sky in the middle of your headquarters, in the middle of your alliance to take down Shanks. Pretty much destroys the alliance, destroys Eustace, captures Eustace, pretty much makes Scratchman of Pooh and Vassal Hawkins his subordinates, tortures Killer, makes Killer presumably eat a artificial Zoandelva fruit. Killer becomes one of the failed Smile Eaters, loses any ability to convey any other emotions, begins working as the Shogun's top assassin. And then of all the people that he has to hit, of all the people he has to hit in the entirety of Wano, it's a girl. And of all the people she's running with the second strongest member of Luffy's crew, Zoro. That's a non-starter. You're not going to kill the girl. It's just a fact. You're not going to get past Zoro to kill the girl. Zoro would more than likely die. You would more likely die trying to take down Zoro, or Zoro would more likely die than allow the girl to be killed. This is the same Zoro that pretty much took Luffy's pain when Kuma had offered him that to spare the rest of the Stride crew, and Zoro took all of that. Even though it was supposed to kill him, he took it all, and Zoro's just a monster. You're not going to kill anybody that Zoro's protecting. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. You need an entire... You need all three admirals. You probably need a Yonko. You probably need at least 2 Yonko commanders. But you're not gonna kill anybody that he's protecting. That's just a fact. And to get punished for not killing the girl, he gets arrested and sent to the Udon prison mines. That's just a rough hand of cards for Kamazo/Killer. And part of me is glad that he didn't get any Smile Devil Fruit abilities, because, looking at the other gifters in Kaido's army and other people that have eaten the Smile Fruit, it just seems to be a roll of the dice, because you have some people in the army that are able to manifest, ram's horns on their hands, and then, transform their hands into wolves' heads at will, and pincer claws and all this other stuff. And then you have some people that have lions for crotches and hippopotamuses for lower halves of their bodies that also cover their top halves, and then you have some people with hind legs on top of other legs. It's just really, it's a really confusing roll of the dice. You either become this chimera-like monstrosity, or you have this very decently significant power-up to your own physical abilities. And I was really worried that if Kamazo, our killer, got that, he would get, you know, the really bad monstrosity half instead of the decent power-up that I believe he could make it be. Because we all know in the One Piece community, it's not the ability that you get, it's the creativity of the user. It's what they do with the ability that matters significantly. And I felt that Killer had the creativity to make it a really powerful ability. And that would have really backfired on Kaido, because it would have been like this interesting plot point of, you know, hey, you made me this artificial Zoan Devil Fruit, and now I'm using the powers of this artificial Zoan Devil Fruit to defeat your entire army. That would have been interesting. But at the same time, this is definitely better in a sense, because it gives Killer a lot more of a tragic story right now. And honestly, I can't see Oda having this entire arc go on without there being some way to reverse the effects of Smile. I cannot imagine there being a Wano arc where all of Abisu Town continues to go on the way that they are, that Toko lives her entire life with that condition, that Killer still goes on in that way. I just can't. And for Eustace, he just really seems to be the one that has pulled like the shortest stick in the bunch of his entire alliance, because Basil Hawkins is sitting perfectly fine. Scratchman Apu is doing decent as a subordinate. X Drake is doing fine as well. But the only person to get really hit by this was Eustace. He got brutalized, arrested, taunted, escaped. Now he's facing waterboarding basically. And his life is in Luffy's death at this point. And Luffy's not going to die. That's just a fact. But the saving grace here for Eustace, and I mean he really, if there's anybody that needs the biggest W in this entire arc, it is Eustace. It is Eustace that needs this W for his crew, for himself. I just don't know. Eustace needs this W more than anybody else in this entire arc, outside of Momonosuke losing, you know, pretty much everything. Now, we see that Big Mom is outside of the Udon Mines, and I really want to see what Big Mom versus Queen would look like, because, you know, Queen was talking all this shit. He was talking a lot of shit. Talking about, we don't care how many millions or billions are on your head, you know, you're nothing. And then Big Mom's just like right at the door looking for that Oshiruko, and we know that that's not there, you know. So Queen, he likes Oshiruko and he wants it, but there is none. And then Big Mom wants it, and when she's in this hunger crazed state, she's unstoppable, and she's also very hard to negotiate with, almost impossible to negotiate with. So Queen, even if he wants to avoid a fight with Big Mom, he can't. He can't, because he doesn't have the Oshiruko to even offer to Big Mom. So a fight is going to have to happen. People are going to die, most likely. And it's going to be interesting to see what a Yonko commander, or what a Yonko's top commanders could possibly do against a Yonko themselves. We've never seen Katakuri versus Big Mom. We've never seen Cracker versus Big Mom. We've never seen anything similar to that. We've never, you know, seen it. And now we're going to witness this. We're going to witness a fight go down. So some things I'm looking forward to in the next few chapters is Kiyoshiro versus Zoro and Big Mom versus Queen. Those are the two fights I'm looking forward to more than anything else so far. But I also want to see Kaido do something. I want to see Kaido appear a little bit more in the next few chapters, because we get him talking about how sick Lord Orochi is, and Lord Orochi is sick, but I just feel like Kaido should be a little bit more active, and we might get that. We will definitely get a more active Kaido when he discovers Big Mom is in Wano. And I have to give some props to Kaido, because it's not like Kaido just let this happen. It's not like Kaido just knew Big Mom was coming and he didn't do anything. We saw him at the waterfall. We saw him shouting at his soldiers to stop Big Mom from climbing up the waterfall. We saw King knock her off the waterfall. We saw, the ship go down. We know that they lost several people when they fell off the waterfall. But it's like nobody could have really anticipated that Big Mom would just wash up on shore with her memory entirely wiped. But who knows? I would really like to see Big Mom versus Kaido. Like, that would just be just epic to happen later on in this arc. That would be just blowing my mind. But this is VM. What did you guys like about this chapter? Are there any fights that you want to see going on? How strong do you think Kiyoshiro is? How do you guys feel about Kamazo? How do you feel about Big Mom versus Queen? How do you feel like the events of Wano arc are going to turn out? Do you really think that there is going to be a cure for the negative effects of the Smile Fruit? What do you guys think is going to happen to Lord Orochi? This is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.